What's the scope look like for an XRP fund?
Yeah, I would say two things on that front, without talking about the Bitwise filing specifically, as you mentioned. One, I think there's substantial demand for an XRP ETF. XRP has had a sustained community for an extremely long period of time. It's an asset that trades significantly on centralized exchanges. I think people would love to find a way to hold it in a simple, low cost, easy to use ETP structure. And I will say the second piece is the SEC is much more receptive to discussions under the new administration than they were in the past. In the previous administration, the door would simply be shut. There was no way to discuss things like staking or in kind or maybe new assets. I think, and I can tell you that has completely changed. They're much more open to dialogue. So I'm optimistic we're going to see, XRP ETFs, Solana ETFs. I think the killer app in this space will actually be an index-based ETF. I think a lot of people want to just make a generalized bet on crypto, and I'm hopeful we get that at the end of this year as well. So count me as optimistic.
XRP ETF, it's happening this year. You heard Matt Hogan from Bitwise. He's so bullish on this. He knows there's a lot of demand on the other side. That's the thing. It's not just about getting it across the finish line, but having demand for that financial product. And so, altcoins are really the undervalued investment in all of markets in a lot of ways. You've had so much risk taken off the board here with this new regime. We're going to get the approval of an XRP ETF, Solana, and other major crypto assets. We're going to see in-kind redemptions, which is massive. If you have your money in a crypto ETF, you don't have to cash out to fiat. You could actually say, hey, give me my crypto, and they got to cash you out in kind. That's going to be huge. And then lastly, what he talked about is the staking aspect of these ETFs. If you have Ethereum, Solana, or some other proof of stake ETF, they can receive monthly, quarterly dividends of more crypto. The market's going to go wild for this kind of thing. And I think most importantly, he said, look, we can actually discuss this stuff with the SEC and have, a productive conversation. You couldn't do that before. If you went in, you're like, you know what, we want to launch an XRP ETF, they're just not going to acknowledge you. They're probably going to threaten to sue you. That's not the case now. Altcoins are so bullish as we work through this year, and we have so many drivers of value we will see, from new ETFs to new feature sets on these ETFs, and actually adoption of this technology, which I think is most exciting. Speaking of that, X Money 2025 is coming, and you know that Elon's going to jump into crypto. And we know this first and foremost just because there's so much money. You don't think he wants in on that? Look what Coinbase is making. Look what Robinhood is making. He wants his everything app to literally be everything, and that's going to include cryptocurrencies because there's just too much money. I wrote this article today on X. You can read through it for all the minutia. But essentially, X Money is launching this year. It's set to really bridge traditional finance with digital payments, which is massive. So these crypto systems will have payment integration and also crypto trading. Just a lot of money to be made there. They already have their licenses in 39 states, the money transmitter licenses. They should get them in every state before long. And we've seen some leaked source code already, which shows, crypto integration into this platform. It's going to happen. In the article, I talk about the major cryptos we should expect. Of course, Doge will be on there. I didn't include it, but we know good and well he's going to have Doge. Bitcoin, I don't need to say much. It's the number one crypto. It'll be on there. Same with Ethereum, top crypto, a lot of use cases, a lot of demand. It'll be on there. XRP is interesting because I think both XRP and RLUSD can be used in payments right now. Could be a huge driver of value. And as this continues to be built out, RWAs and that native DEX could be huge. Hedera, I think, will be on there, Avalanche, and Cardano. He has such a close association with Charles. This is going to happen. This is a network built for scale, built for real-world utility, DeFi, RWAs, all of it. You will see Cardano integrated into X payments 100%. It's going to happen here. Now, this is interesting. Grayscale's XRP has been officially posted on the Federal Register. So what this means, if they want to take it to the last minute possible, they could wait till October 18th. I think that this will be approved much sooner than that. We have to get that new SEC chair in place. He's going to want to take credit for a lot of this stuff. But once they work through a few things, you're going to see these things start to get approved, maybe mid-year, a little bit longer. But I don't think it's going to take till October. Not even close. Now, I told you before, when Dr. Branson talks and he talks about XRP Ledger, you have to listen. And he's reiterating something that I've said before in the past. Decentralization is a spectrum. It's not absolute. People just toss that word around acting like, these things are perfectly decentralized, that they can't be improved, and nothing could be further from the truth. And we see what he says here. And this is response to Ripple. They just put out their UNL list and telling everyone, you need to upgrade. And he says, validator operators are left with little to no choice but to follow Ripple's instructions. And they're not even giving us any sort of logic or reasoning why we should be trusting these validators. We just have to copy them. And this is explained better by Kraken writer. I don't know how to say his name. Very smart individual in the XRP ecosystem. He has a YouTube channel, does great posts. But he says, the problem is with the design, the current design of the UNL. And we originally thought maybe 20 to 40% overlap was enough, but at times, when the network gets a little wonky, even 99% overlap is not enough. And he says the following: the bottom line is that 100% is the goal at all times. You have to copy Ripple. You have to copy the foundation, which doesn't exist yet. They're going to roll out the new one here, but you have to copy them or you're going to fork off and you're not going to be participating in the network. You're off on your own adventure. Does this mean that XRP is bad or the XRP ledger doesn't work? No, it just means we have to think about this stuff and figure a way to improve it. So someone could say, you know what? I trust these validators. Ripple could trust theirs. The foundation could have their own list. And you don't need 100% overlap. Any area that is a roadblock to decentralization needs to be thought of and improved. It's not the end of the world. But if anyone tells you a system is perfect, they're full of it. And this is one area where we could use a lot of improvement and I think will help the decentralization of the XRP ledger long term. There is no perfectly decentralized blockchain, not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, not XRP, but we should work constantly to make them better. Panos saying the following, and I've been really hitting hard on this subject. Real-world asset tokenization combined with the Internet of Value is going to be the biggest financial revolution of the century and reshape the digital asset landscape as well as the global financial system. And this is the part. XRP Ledger will play a big role in that revolution, absolutely, from day one. If you listen to the early days, Chris Larson, explaining what the XRP Ledger is. He wasn't saying, look, you make cross-border payments with XRP. No, he was telling us about RWAs. That wasn't a catchphrase. That wasn't a word at that time. But from day one, that's what they were talking about. Taking real-world value, throwing it on the blockchain, and being able to use it, transfer it, trade it anywhere in the world. This is it, people. This is the path. It's going to be so much bigger than even payments. Patreon this week, I did a video on this case. RWA's a multi-trillion-dollar blockchain use case. Check it out if you're on Patreon, but if you're not and you just want to read about it, I have on junglelinkxrp.com. Link down below, the whole research report listed there. You can read about why this is going to be a big deal, the blockchains that are in play, and how they will be used in this massive, massive opportunity. When you listen or you read stuff from JP Morgan, BlackRock, this is what they are excited about. RWAs and XRP can play a massive, massive role here. You can see a quote from this article. Ripple and the XRP ledger stand out as blockchain pioneers in financial grade tokenization. Big, big use case. We see Gary Cardone saying, you know what? Today I dumped my XRP position at $2.71. Let me tell you, if you want to sound smart, and I've talked about when I'm going to sell XRP, to be transparent, not to sound smart, because right now in a crypto bull run, you're going to look stupid because you're going to sell. And I don't care if it's XRP, I don't care if it's Ethereum, Cardano, you name it. You're going to pull profits, and that's fine. If you're pulling profits, you'll never go broke, cashing in profits. But you're going to look mighty stupid. This guy's not going to look smart here. I'm telling you, this thing is going to rip his stupid face right off. He says the following, rule number 1, if I can't understand the supply-demand dynamic, unless I have a serious edge, I don't get involved. I mean, it's pretty easy to understand supply, demand, the dynamics in play here. There's nothing special to XRP that's different from Bitcoin or Ethereum. 2, if others can't explain it, I mean, XRP is one of the easiest to understand use cases, utility propositions. I mean, it doesn't get any easier, and that's why it is so attractive, because most people can read it, understand it, and they want to get involved. And you're going to see more and more of that. Avoid people who price everything but know the value of nothing. I think he's describing himself right here, Gary Cardone. When you look at value, I think it's crazy to even think that 271 is a good exit point. Now, it might be for an individual if they've made enough gains and they want to take risk off the table. But when you're just trying to value blockchains, 271 is nothing for XRP Ledger. Never confuse short-term noise with long-term investments, plan, or goals. Of course, XRP is not a fly-by-night. It's been around for a very long time. There's been a lot of demand. Even the SEC, essentially the U.S. government, could not stop this blockchain. It has proven itself resilient. The Gary Cardones will come and go. The Jungle Links will come and go. XRP will continue on. Lastly, never follow the crowd. I would say we're not the crowd, right? We're the outliers. We're the head of the spear here in this revolution. The Bitcoins, the Ethereums, those are the crowds. So, that's okay that he sold. Maybe he made a lot of money. Good for him. But I wouldn't post these types of things thinking you're going to sound like a genius, because crypto is going to continue to go up in a significant way until it doesn't. But the chances are that Gary's calling the top here is almost nothing. It's probably going to be a pretty stupid post as we go into the future. We see Kash Patel today confirmed with the FBI, and this is what's interesting. Everyone in this administration is bullish on crypto. You see he has a $115,000 position in Bitcoin, $100,000 in Bitcoin mining stock. So everyone has some sort of investment, some sort of skin in the game here. Even the FBI director. It's quite crazy here. Eleanor Terrett saying, look, we got some bipartisan support for a stablecoin bill, the Genius Act. Stablecoins are going to be first, and then you're going to roll off. We'll probably see two bills. One that really okays the use of stablecoins, lays out all those procedures. And the second, defining what these crypto assets are. They're commodities. They're under the CFTC's jurisdiction, what things need to be securities. That'll probably be second a little later in the year. Another big bullish driver for crypto, because that allows your banks to really jump in here, your big tech, your visionaries of the future that are actually going to use this technology. Last thing I want to bring to your attention here, this was posted by David Schwartz today. And this is an interview with Ledger CEO. And he's saying, we have this Ledger Recover service where, you have your Ledger device, it's your own keys, but if you lose them, well, they'll recover the keys for you. But the problem is, if they're subpoenaed, they can recover your keys for a government, which goes against the total, self-custody ethos, right? Like, what's the point? If you could turn it over, the government is the main person you want to self-custody against. And he says in this, well, for the government to try to subpoena your crypto, it has to be something extreme. Anything the government ever wants is immediately extreme. Like, they never say, we really want Jungle Link's crypto, but you know what? This isn't that serious of an issue. No, anything they want. Every government is tyrannical, and anything they want, if they can get it, they're going to take it. This was a crazy, interview by him where he said, oh, this is only for the really bad people. Oh, no, this is for anyone. And David Schwartz says, look, subpoenas are available to civil plaintiffs in state court. Like, it might not just be a government going after a bad person. It could be someone suing you. This just takes away all the advantage of self-custody. And at this point, if you're going to use this service, just buy an ETF and let your money be held by BlackRock, and then they're responsible for it. And, there's a give and a take. You don't have self-custody, but you also don't have those, those same risks that you have with self-custody, but don't get the worst of all worlds, which is pretty much what Ledger is describing here. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.